Boston has the advantage of a young and gifted population with much to contribute. The challenge is to get more people ages 20 to 34 engaged in Boston's civic life. The engagement effort began under the previous mayor, Tom Menino, with 1 in 3 Boston. Under Mayor Walsh, the effort's moving to another level, rebranded as Spark Boston. We'd like to welcome its director, Erin Santhouse. Thank you very much for being with us, Erin.
Thank you for having me.
We'll talk about this rebranding. What's the idea?
Sure. So as you mentioned, 1 in 3 originated in 2004 after the BRA did a massive demographic study of the city of Boston and discovered this huge population. Over a third of Boston's residents are between the ages of 20 and 34, which is a huge component, and they make up 45% of eligible voters, about half the workforce. Major economic engine driving about $1 billion annually in goods and services to the city of Boston. So obviously this is a population that has a voice and a say in the direction that the city goes in, and Mayor Walsh just really cares about making sure that this population feels encouraged to participate civically. And we realize that we need new tools and strategies to do that, because the community meetings of the past are not really working for this population, and we know that they care and that they want to get involved. So we're launching Spark Boston to sort of be the connecting effort between ongoing initiatives coming out of the city that are really driving the future of Boston, and young people who want to have a say but don't necessarily know how to connect. So we figured we'd make a big splash and get some attention and try to drive people to some of these bigger strategic planning processes, like Go Boston 2030 or the Boston Creates cultural plan, and we're really just here to facilitate that.
Well, I remember community meetings in the 1970s, and I know they still have them, but people have other ways of getting connected, right?
Right, particularly the digital tools that we now have as a society. City government can be a little slower than the private sector to adapting to these sorts of things. So what Spark Boston is trying to do is tap into the energy and creativity of our millennial population to help us rethink civic engagement in this digital age. So it's been great. A lot of our members and council members will come to me with ideas about different tools to reach people digitally that I hadn't heard of, and I get to kind of work with city departments to get them to think about how they can use social media or online platforms to make some of those things a little bit easier. But we also do some more of the traditional face-to-face engagement, but we like to do it with a sense of fun. We do a lot of events and programs that are trying to connect young people to each other, but also to the city leadership, people like chiefs and department heads who are creating these programs and policies that are going to affect them one day, and giving them the opportunity to meet with them one-on-one and talk.
This is BNN News. We're talking with Erin Santhouse of Spark Boston. What about things that people in this age group you're trying to reach are interested in? I think you have some idea about that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about this population that's pretty interesting is that demographically it's incredibly diverse. The diversity of this population mirrors that of the population at large here in Boston. So to say that this generation cares about one issue over another is kind of disingenuous, because they range in terms of what they care about. It's what unites us is more this technological shift of how they want to express the issues that they care about and how they want to get involved with that. So it's interesting and a little daunting sometimes, because from everything from housing to transportation to our school system, those are all issues that carry a lot of relevance in this population, and it's really just about connecting people of this age range who care about a particular issue with the city leadership that's working on that, and having them facilitate conversations.
Back in 2004 with 1 in 3 Boston, there was this quasi-discovery that we had all these people who were not leaving the city.
Right.
But now when you have Spark Boston, I mean, Spark to me is innovation, right?
Yeah, we like to think of it as spark a change, spark a conversation, spark innovation, energy, creativity. These are all things that this population is really kind of brimming with, and a lot of times it almost seems like they don't have an outlet to express that civically, and to be members of their community that are contributing to a better future for the city of Boston. And before I took this role, even I had friends and people that worked in different offices around the city who are not really plugged into city government or politics or their neighborhood associations, and they would say that after work hours sometimes they want to know how they can give back or how they can get involved, and so we're here to sort of bridge that gap.
Well, I know we have all kinds of innovators. There are people who work in the Seaport District, or there could be the young man who was on our show talking about a bicycle cafe in Dorchester.
Exactly.
So if people want to get in touch and find out more, what's the best way to follow up?
They can follow us on Twitter, at Spark Boston is our handle, or check out our temporary website, which is sparkboss.weebly.com. That's SPARKBOS.WEEVLY.com. That's our temporary website while the city comes up with their new one. So there's options on the website for how they can get involved, events and programs that are coming up, and how to contact us.
Well, thank you very much for being with us.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Erin Santhouse from Spark Boston.